Hey guys, this is Dan with Gears and Gadgets. Thanks for tuning in. Back with another video a day till this channel hits 100K. I did not think that I would be making another video on this GPS device that I found in my truck. Also found a similar one in my wife's car that is plugged in to the OBD2 port in a very, what I would call, hidden kind of way. Unless any more major developments come up with this GPS tracking bullshit, I don't intend on making my channel all about this. For all of the new subscribers, and there's a lot of you, this channel is all about trucks, motorcycles, side-by-sides, just kind of power sports, things in that realm. And then on occasion, I get a little wild hair at my to make a video about something that I feel passionate about that might kind of come out of left field, but that's who I am. And I appreciate you guys being here. I have to revisit this because the first video I made was about just nonsense dealer add-ons, and then I researched this company, which ended up being the second video where I shared with you guys that basically they're on record as saying that this device was created because the OEMs, think OnStar, Ford Pass, the built-in GPS solutions that also include theft recovery would not give the dealerships your location information. The CEO of this company says
they're basically stealing that data. So for me, that was a big no-no. I mean, that customer should stay for the dealers. Why should you as a dealer promote OnStar or Ford Pass or any other third party to steal that data away from you?
He said that the OEMs were stealing that information from the dealers. This device was created to give the dealers access to market product to you to get you back into the dealership. Again, that is their words, not mine. And that was the whole purpose of my second video, was to bring attention to how they explain this device and how it makes it, in my opinion, an even more sinister device. So that was video number 2. Well, video number 3 was me sharing with you guys where to look for these things and how to remove them yourself. Now, video number 4 about this is just addressing all of the comments that I am getting that are just as scary. Number 1, this very likely, if not pretty much guaranteed, has nothing to do with the Repo Man. If you do a little research, first of all, look at your finance contract. They will tell you whether or not they're tracking you for purposes of like repossession. None of the major banks that are issuing normal auto loans are tracking you for the purposes of a repossession. This is something that you may deal with if you are dealing with a subprime loan, most likely probably with a used car, and most certainly likely if you're buying a car at a buy here, pay here place. But if you went to a new car dealership and took out a loan on a brand new car with any traditional financing that is not subprime, they're not having the dealerships sell you something as an add-on under the assumption that you're buying it as a theft recovery device so that you can also then provide all of your user data to the dealer. The dealers are not repossessing your car. This is again a general statement, but typically speaking, your dealership, when you buy a car, I'm talking new cars, traditional lending, they are the salesperson. They are not holding the loan for that car. That dealership doesn't care if you pay for that car 6 months later or not. The finance company absolutely does, but the dealership would not be installing these so that they can come get your car later on behalf of the loan. Once you buy your car, you drive it off the lot, it can take a few days for that loan to settle. I actually had a long time ago something come up with loan paperwork on a car where they literally had called me 10 days later to come in and re-sign paperwork. None of the loan terms changed, no interest, none of that. But like they had messed up a form and the company buying the loan wouldn't actually go through unless I had signed it again. So there might be a window of like 2 weeks possibly where that dealership might still have a vested interest in where your car is if they can't get the loan bought. But that does not give them the right to sell you a GPS tracker that they are then going to turn around and use to come and get that vehicle back if they're telling you that it is a mandatory dealer ad, that they put it on all of their cars, and that it is a theft recovery device for you, the consumer. If their actual intent is to use to repossess your car, that would be called deception. All that to say, banks, if they are a legitimate bank and you're not buying it a buy here, pay here, this very likely has nothing to do with your auto loan. It's disturbing to me to see how many people think that. I guess I would be of the opinion that the manufacturer of this device would love you to think that when you find this thing, that, oh my gosh, if I pull this out of my car, they're coming to repo it. Now, again, go look at your loan documentation, and if it doesn't mention anything about a GPS tracker, it's not there for that. It's there for your dealer to get more information on you. Now, I say this because, again, this is redundant to the OEM stuff. So if you were told when you bought your car that you're buying this and it has a theft recovery component to it, that's fine, it does. But if you were also not made aware of the fact that your car already has OnStar or ForwardPass, or name the dealer connected platform that they have now, this is redundant to what's already on your vehicle. And if you read the terms and service for this, you should ask yourself, why would I want to have the dealership having access to all of my information for a device that they charged me for that I didn't even ask for in the first place, over top of the baked-in OEM solution, where these people themselves say that this device was created because the OEMs are doing such a good job of making sure that the dealers don't get data to turn around and be able to market you later. They're annoyed by this. That's why this device was created, because it gets around how good the privacy policies are for OnStar, ForwardPass, all of that, where the dealers are upset that they can't get your data. I would rather have the baked-in OEM version than the one that I was blow-darted with on my way out of the dealership and asked to pay for as well. You know, that's the next part of this video, and kind of I guess the last comment that on the negative side that I think I want to address here is how many people say, like, well, you already have OnStar, you already have a phone in your pocket, you already have you already have all these apps they all have access to you gave them access. Sure, it's a pretty valid argument. Makes it an even stronger argument, in my opinion, that you don't want unnecessary ones added into the stack. So if people are getting that desensitized to everybody tracking them to the point where they're willing to pay just because they're just frustrated trying to get out of the dealership, the deal it's good enough, there's some nonsense, few $100 added on for these ridiculous things, but all in, they're going, all right, my payment's where I need it to be. The out-the-door price isn't all that terrible, whatever, they're getting me for this thing. And they don't even think about it ever again after they leave. That's what I have a problem with this thing. But the people who are finding it and then going like, well, you know, whatever, I guess it is what it is. We're just so heavily... That is a terrible mentality, and I don't think that we as a society should be just saying, yep, we're tracked by everything. So therefore, when I go to buy a new car, they're just going to add an extra tracker on there for them. And then when I go and pick up a pizza from Domino's, they're going to slap one on my car to figure out when I come home, because this one's not sharing it with them. So we'll just slap our own on there, and then we can know when they're coming and going. And then, you know, just at what point does every single service that you provide slap a GPS tracker on your car, and then, I don't know, your car battery's dead every 3 days because all of these things are pulling power off of that. And that's one of the things I find the most hilarious about this device, is that it's pulling power off of your battery while they're telling you that it's monitoring the status of your battery. It's like, my perception of this device, it's not just, you know, letting the fox into the hen house. It's literally saying like, hey, fox, can you design us a better hen house? Like, this whole thing is such a joke to me that it would draw power off of your battery to power itself to tell you when your battery is going bad.
I'm also going to crudely jump into my edit here to laugh at how hilarious it is that this thing is pulling power off your battery to monitor the battery status, theoretically potentially killing the battery, which then the dealership will know that your battery's dead and they can sell you a battery. How convenient.
I used to detail cars back when I was, I don't know, 18. I was in and out of cars all day long, and maybe like once or twice one of the batteries would be dead. For them to like claim that this is tracking battery status as it's theoretically killing batteries. It's just crazy. And then I don't care about the theft recovery service that they add on here. It's just the whole thing is, and you can listen to them speak about it themselves. This whole GPS device is for the dealers.
And I'll quote our owner, if it doesn't benefit our dealer directly, we're not interested in doing it.
All this to say, again, not tied very likely to your loan unless you're taking out subprime trash loans or working with some like in-house financing of like a used car dealership, or worst, a buy here, pay here place that's doing the internal financing. That's the kind of like sleaze crap that's happening with these GPS trackers, because the loans are such a high risk that they kind of have to run with something like this. So I could see maybe there's an argument for this, but never, never should I be seeing comments as I am on these videos from people just saying, I found one, thanks for your video, had no idea that it was there, and being super skeeved by the entire thing. That's wrong. And if you're using these in a subprime, buy here, pay here kind of situation, people should know that they're being tracked. This video specifically is to just be able to copy and paste the link of this video to all of those comments, because it's getting exhausting. Don't accept this trash, guys. Like, it's that simple. I say because I fell for the scenario where my deal was really good. Some people are like, oh, you bought a truck that's worth too much, whatever. I'm not here to debate the price of trucks today. But for me, I accepted, it was about $1,500 worth of add-ons on my truck, and I knew that I didn't want any of them. But on the flip side, the truck that I was trading in, this dealership was showing me, it was upwards of like $5,000 more than what they were down the road. So for me, it was a financial decision of like, yes, these add-ons are ridiculous, but if I go down the road where they're not doing add-ons, but I get less trade-in, it's like they're getting you one way or the other. So for those of you who think that you're master negotiators and walked out of a dealership getting the greatest deal, I'd say about 5% of you did. 95% of you just got taken in a way that you were completely unaware of. And, you know, that's fine. If it makes you happy, it makes you happy. But unfortunately, these forced add-ons are something that is becoming more standard practice. So even if you pack up and go down the road, there's a good chance the next dealership down the road is doing the same absolute bullshit. So again, I just wanted to make this video mainly to say it's not tied to your loan. Probably double check, make sure. I don't want people getting in trouble for pulling stuff off of their cars that are tied to their loan. But if you got a loan from a legitimate dealership on a new car through a legitimate bank and your credit isn't trash, this probably is not tied to your loan. As a matter of fact, I would go on a limb and say it's probably definitely not tied to your loan. But double check. And also the other component here, stop accepting this complete nonsense of like, oh, we're being tracked by everything, so therefore we're okay just getting blow darted with GPS trackers everywhere we go for the rest of our lives. I don't want to live in that world. That's a dystopian place that I'm certainly not okay with. And I don't really care if it makes it easier for them to repo. Loaning vehicles and doing that kind of stuff comes with a bunch of risk. That's part of the business. I tend to kind of feel the same way with like law enforcement when they start trying to track every single move through like cameras and that whole dystopian thing where it's like, well, it helps solve crime. Yeah, well, you know what? Maybe crime shouldn't be so easy to solve. That's kind of part of the whole thing. And I don't think that all of us giving up all of our freedoms to let the system work more efficiently for the system is anything that we should be signing up for. That's that take on it. So again, thank you guys very much for tuning in. If this is your first time tuning in, please hit that subscribe button down below. Remember, likes go a long way to help support the channel. I will see you guys next time.